Shalom, shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all honor and glory to Howard by Shem, Yahweh Shai by Shem, Rakatash. So I can don't get dry. Dope and Salaki. First and foremost, I want to give all honor and glory to Yahweh by Shem, Yahweh Shai by Shem, Rakatash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone Rule, who have been the great example to his younger brothers in the truth, and peace and blessing to the hopeful elect. And Lord willing is edifying. It's just to read to the brother. Um uh, Karaitazai. He a brother that's behind the camera, diligent brother, and his page name GMS Bride to the Marriage, you know, the brother from Pensacola. It say they shall build, but I will throw down, and it's basically gonna be a re. I just put a re, you know, and I got article as well. It say I just had that up there because just showing that this is gonna be a re to this brother video. You know, they shall build, but the Lord gonna throw this shit down, man. You know, it say Biden say $2 trillion job plan reveals the space race and its ambition. Let's play it.
It's time to build our economy from the bottom up and from the middle out, not the top down. That hadn't worked very well. So today, I'm proposing a plan for the nation that rewards work, not just rewards wealth. It builds a fair economy that gives everybody a chance to succeed. And it's going to create the strongest, most resilient, innovative economy in the world. It's not a plan that tinkers around the edges. It's a once-in-a-generation investment in America, unlike anything we've seen or done since we built the interstate highway system and the space race decades ago. In fact, it's the largest American jobs investment since World War II. It will create millions of jobs, good-paying jobs. It will grow the economy, make us more competitive around the world, promote our national security interests, and put us in a position to win the global competition with China in the upcoming years. It's big, yes. It's bold, yes. And we can get it done. The American Jobs Plan will build new rail corridors,
It sound like that nigga in a big ass theater by himself. Goddamn.
transit lines, easing congestion, cutting pollution, slashing commute times, and opening up investment in communities that become connected to the cities and cities to the outskirts, where a lot of jobs are these days. No one making under $400,000 will see their federal taxes go up, period. This is not about penalizing anyone. I have nothing against millionaires and billionaires. I believe American capitalism. We're going to raise the corporate tax. It was 35%, which is too high. We all agreed 5 years ago it should go down to 28%, but they reduced it to 21%. We're going to raise it back to up to 28%. No one should be able to complain about that. It's still lower than what that rate was between World War II and 2017. Just doing that one thing will generate $1 trillion in additional revenue over 15 years.
Thought it was another one. It say Biden promised broadband for all in 2 trillion infrastructure plan. Let's look up that word infrastructure. infrastructure. It say infrastructure, a noun, the basic physical and organizational structure and facilities, buildings, road, power supplies needed for the operating of society or enterprise. So basically, the buildings, the roads, the power supplies. Basically and the infrastructure of America is a fucking F, man. All these bad ass roads. You go into prominent neighborhoods, man, and the roads fucked up, especially down here where I'm at, man. You go to a nicer neighborhood, these $500,000 homes, and you know, Edomites running, jogging, walking their dogs and shit. You don't see a nigga in sight, man. You know, they roads be fucked up, man. Potholes and shit. You know, and the infrastructure. I'm just the point being, the infrastructure of America is done, man. And I ain't gonna read into all of it. I just got a couple precepts. It ain't gonna be nothing long. Let's get this precept, and I believe this the first precept the brother brought out. This Malachi chapter 1 and verse 4, it say, whereas Edom said, we are impoverished, but we return and build the desolate places. Thus saith the Lord of hosts, they shall build, but I will throw down, and Esau have returned and build the desolate places. This nigga came back in the power, man. When he came back in the power during the Renaissance era, that was him returning to build the desolate places, man. You know? But, this nigga ain't stopped yet, man. He's steady building. You know? He's steady trying to build, man. They say, they shall build, but I will throw down, and they shall call them the borders of wickedness and the people against whom the Lord have indignation forever, man. This Isaiah chapter 14 in verse 4, it say that thou shalt, yep, verse 4, it say that thou shalt take up this proverb against the king of Babylon and say, how have the oppressor ceased, the golden city ceased? Verse 5, the Lord Yahweh has broken the staff of the wicked and the scepter of the ruler. Verse 6, he that smote the people in wrath with a continual stroke, he that he that ruled the nations in anger is persecuted and none hindered. The whole earth is at rest and is quiet. They break forth into singing. Yeah, the fir trees rejoice at thee, and the cedars of Lebanon, saying, since thou art laid down, no feller is come up against us. Hail from beneath, and this talking about America, these Edomites, and ultimately America, man, Babylon the Great, man, the mother of harlots, man. You know, this a huge import city. All these motherfuckers known for a building. The pine trees falling, Christmas trees every year. Lumber every goddamn well, man. You know, the whole earth gonna be at rest when this man fall, man. Say, jumping back up to verse 6, say he that smote the people with a continuous stroke, and he that ruled over the nations in anger, sanctions on everybody, telling everybody what they can and can't do. This I'm talking about America, man. Let's jump back down to where we was. You know, it say verse 9. It say hell from beneath is moved for thee to. So like about that. I'll get back into it. Isaiah 14 and verse 9. I'm start right here. It say verse 10. It say, well, verse 9, it say, hell from beneath is moved for thee to meet thee at thy coming. It stirreth up the dead for thee, even all the chief ones of the earth. it have raised up from it have raised up from their throne raised it have raised up from their thrones all the kings of the nations. All they shall speak and say unto thee, art thou become art thou also become weak as we? Art thou become like unto us? And these nations can boast against America now because America, the economy is failing, the dollar is collapsing, the infrastructure is an F. You know, it's over with for this place, man. You know, how art thou fallen from heaven, O Lucifer, son of the morning? And ultimately, it's also talking about Esau, Edom, because Esau ruling over Babylon, man. You know, this is the land of Egypt, man. Mount Seir, goddamn, Basra or something. You know, like scripture say, who would this come from Edom would die going from Basra, man. America is Basra, man. America is that chief place, Esau, Edom. You know, ruling the earth. You know, and also Europe, you know, NATO, EU countries, you know, but America is that motherfucker, man. It say verse 12, how art thou fallen from heaven, O Lucifer, son of the morning? How art thou cut down to the ground, which didst weaken the nations? Um, I skipped one, so like, yeah, I skipped one. I meant to get verse 11. I skipped verse 11. Verse 11, it says, thy pump is brought down to the grave, and the noise of thy vows, the worm is spread underneath thee, and the worms cover thee, and they go into corrosion, man. Cause what happened when a body die? Worms and cover and be under, you know, corrosion, man. That's what they're going into, man. You know, this place is falling fast. It's dwindling. The roads falling apart. The buildings falling apart. You know, and this whole economy of America is falling, man. You know, right now you can't tell because America's so rich and powerful of a nation that it ain't just gonna fall in a day. It ain't gonna fall in a month. It ain't gonna fall even in a year, man. It's gonna take time for this bitch to fall, but it's falling, man, and it's been on a constant spiral down, going all the way back to the 70s, man. And it's just getting worse and worse and worse. But when this bitch crash, oh man, it's gonna be horrible, man, because these people live deliciously, man. You know, these people live, dwell, and live without a care. You know, they ain't got to worry about nothing here, man. You know, food get brought to you, you ain't got to do shit. You know, get your ass up, make your little money, and sit your ass back down, man, and get catered to, man. You know, but let's keep going. Um, this Isaiah chapter, I'm sure Jeremiah 51 and verse. This Jeremiah 51 and 6. It say, flee out of the midst of Babylon and deliver every man his soul. And it's not literally talking about leave Babylon. It's talking about spiritually, you know, spiritually depart from this place. Be not cut off in her iniquity. For this is the time of the Lord's vengeance. He will render unto her a recompense, like going back into that one precept from Micah 2 and 10. Come ye out of her, my people. They ain't literal talking about come out of her and be not partake of her sins. It wasn't literal, man. Matter of fact, let me get it because I'm saying I think I'm quoting Micah chapter 2 and 10. Michael. Micah 2:10. It say, "Arise ye and depart, for this is not your rest, because it is polluted. It will destroy you, even with the sword of destruction." You know, it ain't literally talking about departing. It's spiritually. Depart from the cares and the ways and fashions of this life, man. Flee from this, man. Verse 6 on Jeremiah 51 and verse 6 again. Flee out of the midst of Babylon, America, Babylon the Great, and deliver every man his soul. Be not cut off in her iniquities, for this is the time of the Lord's vengeance. He will render her a recompense. Yeah, her who? The virgin daughter of Babylon, man. You know, that the mother of harlots, they great whore, man. It say Babylon have been a golden cup in Yahweh's hand that made all the earth drunken. The nations are drunk are drunken of her wine. Therefore are the nations mad. Yeah, they finna be pissed off with this place, man. Or they are pissed off with this place, man. Pushing democracy on them. You know, they took a sip of that democracy, goddamn, that democracy tea, and drunk as hell, man. You know, they got roofied, man. You know, America roofied these nations into believing in democracy, gave them a damn fiat currency and stole all their damn resources, man. Some shit that ain't backed by nothing, man. Verse 8, it say Babylon is suddenly fallen, destroyed. How for her? Take balm for her, if so she may be healed. Verse 9, we would have healed Babylon, and that's what this attempt to do, to try to heal this place, man. We would have healed Babylon, but she is not healed. Forsake her. Let us go, every one unto his own country, for her judgments reacheth unto heaven and is lifted up even unto the skies, man. And that's what it is, man. This place is done, man. You know, verse 10 to say, Yahweh have brought forth our righteousness. Come and let us declare in Zion the works of Yahweh, our power, man. And that's ultimately what's getting ready to happen, man. The Lord is is destroying this place right before our eyes, you know. But hey, that ultimate fall ain't happened yet, man. But they trying to going back to this stimulus check, they trying to stimulate the economy to keep it afloat a little bit longer, man. But hey, man, it's all to no avail. Esau, you gonna build, but guess what? The Lord say he gonna throw this shit down, man. So do what you gotta do, man. You know, build, do what you, hey, rejoice and be glad, man. Flatter yourself right now, man, because it's gonna be the end of this shit, man. But that's pretty much the point. Let me see. I think that was the last one. Yep. But so with that, Lord, when this edifying, I want to end it giving all honor and glory to Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahweh Shai, by Hashem, Rakakadash, double honors to the apostles and the elders, great millstone, rule well, being a great example to the young brothers in the truth, and peace and blessing to the hopeful elect. Lord, when this edifying, with that, Kwam Yashala, Shalom.